other figure they had, even more so than John?
It was really tough. You know, I'll take this one. She's asking when we were. You and the shirt.
Yeah, this one's for Jensen.
I'll take it. I'll take this one.
What's it like having to put up with Jared on screen?
I'll take this one.
So it's really funny you asked that. And I'm glad you did, actually. Oh, hey guys. You were saying?
Yeah. Carrying on. No, it was really difficult. I didn't realize how serious. This sounds really stupid, but we've obviously had a lot of. I've died on the show. He's died on the show. A lot of people die on the show and come back. I didn't realize really that he was dying. Not really. So I was caught off guard by how severe and sincere the episode turned out to be, and it was difficult, but it was a great episode.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, we had a lot of loss on this show. It was very difficult. So it. Yeah, what? I'm emotional, man. Go easy. So it's it's never an easy thing, especially when a character that built such a relationship with over many seasons gets taken away. But unfortunately, that's the movies, that's the TV, and that's good television. And but the good thing is because of these things, we still get to see Jim quite a bit, and we still talk to him a lot too, anyway. So bring him here.
He won't fit my carry-on.
Get a bigger carry-on.
Okay.
Never seen this carry-on? Are you kidding me? It's like a body bag.
Yeah, I have a gigantic carry-on. If my carry-on were on any other human being, they'd make them check it. But because relatively, it's not really big.
Because it looks like a purse.
My purse is on the other side. But my bag, it's probably 60 pounds or something.
Yeah.
It's a big old duffel bag, and I have it chock full. But if somebody else had it, they'd be like, no, you gotta check that. Anyways, sorry, great question. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, sorry to see you from this angle here. So this is as close as I'm ever going to get to you, so here we are. My question is actually for both of you.
Okay.
My question is for both of you because I believe that I was introduced to Supernatural 2.5 months ago, and my friends made me watch 5 seasons.
I'm so sorry.
I tell you, after watching 7 shows in a row, things get blurry. But anyway.
Think about filming 158 of them.
No, actually,
I don't even know who this is.
one of the things that I've had to learn, because I've been deep in instruction about you guys, is that you can have a really great friendship. Or it's so I
don't know who this guy is.
What was it like in the first weeks, when you were first starting to film and getting that rhythm? What did you think of each other?
I know what you take this one.
You know, I will honestly say, there's a certain feeling when you do a pilot in general. I've done a few that haven't gone, and everybody's really excited, and everybody's very optimistic and hopeful. But I think we both knew, and we were both told many, many times by many different people that this show was going to go for a long time. I don't think either of us thought it would be 8 years, but I think he and I knew that we were going to be in it for the long run. And I remember reading and finding out, like, oh, you're from Texas, so am I. Pretty cool. Oh, you country music? Oh, me too. Like, what about your parents? Your brother and sister? Cool. All right. I remember we had a lot in common, and we both weren't into Hollywood BS. You know, it wasn't about causing drama. It was more about getting the job done. kind of like our characters, I guess. So I think we hit it off.
Yeah, I think it was right away. It was just kind of, certain people gravitate towards certain people. I like to say good people find good people. And it was just kind of one of those things where when we met, it was really easy. It was very familiar. That just kind of, we built on that, and it kept getting more familiar, and then pretty soon, we're just rocking it. And we had a good, solid friendship. We had a great working relationship. The characters were forming this really cool chemistry on the screen, and it all just kind of worked out, and I think we got very fortunate.
So welcome to the show, welcome to the family.
Oh, thank you. But I'm not sure if I don't know if I should really watch it. I've got 5 seasons down. Are the next 2 any good? I'll put a season down or something.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Know your audience.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Okay, I want to ask, what is the most elaborate prank you pull on set?
The most elaborate prank. Elaborate?
I don't know, there's been a few, between Jared putting all the coins in Misha's car. I think it was season 2 where I toilet papered and stink bombed his trailer. And I think that's when we realized that we're better off as allies. And that it could get really disastrous if he and I went against each other. We've also had some very elaborate pranks pulled on us. We
Had a whole shot set up.
Yeah, we had an entire shot set up around one. We were climbing down into a manhole cover into a sewer, and it was a set built, so there was this big column, and we climbed up to the top, and there were cameras up there, and so we started climbing down this little ladder in a tube. And I went first, and then Jared was coming right down on top of me, basically, and then it was just a wall of water came from up top, and it was the camera guys had 2 5-gallon buckets of cold water on top of both of us. It was courtesy of Kim Anders, our director at the time. And I remember the producer coming up to me just before the shot. Obviously, he was in on it, because he was like, "Hey, so you got that iPhone thing, right? Let me look at maybe get one of those. So, can I see it? Can you do this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, here, take it. I'm gonna go shoot this." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." He was just getting the phone out of my pocket because he knew I was about to get soaked. So there's that one. There's also, we have a couple of bikes that we ride around on, little motorbikes.
They were actually in the video, courtesy.
Yeah, we have a couple of motorbikes that we ride around set. They're always with us. They're in our trailers and stuff. And we couldn't find them one day, and we finally walked on to one of our sound stages. We have 3 of them. It's 3 sound stages. We walked onto one, and there was these really kind of dramatic spotlight. All the lights were off, and just these dramatic spotlights aiming towards the ceiling, where our bikes were suspended from the rafters. Again, courtesy of Kim Anders. So, yeah, it's been good times in Supernatural.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
I know this is a frequently asked question, but I don't know the answer, so I was wondering, which season is your favorite?
Which season is our favorite? I would probably say, if I don't know, on any given day I could probably change my answer, but today I think season 1.
Yeah.
Simply because it really set the tone of the show, and it was we were both kind of trying to find our footing, and we weren't sure if we were going to get picked up for another season, and so there was this kind of uncertainty, kind of this nervous energy in the air that was really kind of intoxicating, I guess. But then like season 5, I thought was
awesome. 4. I love 4 was great. I think what I loved about 4 is how much we had going on with Alistair and Ruby and Gabriel and Lucifer, and there was so much going on that I feel like there were many stories to tell. So I feel like I feel like season 4 was really strong. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Howdy. Hey there, cowboy.
Howdy. I just wanted to ask, like, I know that we've all seen stuff like Untitled and All in Love and stuff like that. And I was wondering, between you and guys and Misha, what's the most difficult scene you have to film without cracking up?
There was one like 2 days ago. Didn't Paul ask you to leave set? Again? Misha was they were trying to do a coverage on Misha, and I wasn't needed for the shot, so I was sitting around the corner or something reading a magazine, and I just hear, "Damn it, Jared, just walk away! Get out of the room!"
There's an upcoming episode where we kind of go into some side stories and some backstories, and there was a long shot, and I was supposed to say something to Misha, like, "Hey, Cass, why aren't you home with us?" Whatever it is. And the shot was supposed to be on him, and then as he looks away,
It was like a long, pensive look, and it was like a slow.
and it was going to cut to a flashback,
Yeah.
and then come back out of it. And so he had to hold a really straight face, and not even just, but he had to be really kind of
Very
like
pensive. Yeah.
his girl Castiella.
And you were off camera at the time.
Making faces and saying stupid. And the worst thing, we had a new director who was awesome, but he didn't really understand that he was not going to get a normal take out of me. So everybody, all the crew was like, "Paul, our director, like, Paul, just let Jared's not needed for this shot. He can go to his trailer."
Just let him go away.
And Paul's like, "No. He'll be here for Misha." And I was like, "Damn right, I'll be there for Misha." So I was there for Misha, and I ended up getting kicked off. So.
Well, because I hear all this commotion, I hear Paul like yelling at Jared. And so I get up and turn around, I walk around the corner, and I see, and Paul has he's got a 4x flag, which is, it's just like a
black tarp, basically.
Yeah. It's like a big tarp, but it's made into a square, so they'll put it to block lights and stuff. We call them flags. We've got all different sizes, shapes and sizes. But he has one, he's holding it, and he's just trying to block Jared's.
And I'm moving
From Misha seeing him. And he's blocking. He's like, "Okay, go, action! And so I see this and I'm like, "Hey, Misha!" So then Paul's like, "Oh, damn it, both of you, get out of here!"
True story.
Yeah.
Also, I was wondering if I could give Jared the present I got from Thomas.
Certainly.
I didn't know what size he would be, so I got 2 of them.
They won't fit me,
But you can try. Thanks.
thank you. Very sweet.
Hi there.
One of the most interesting and tragic things about Dean is his relationship with alcohol. How's the experience of taking
Sorry, his relationship with alcohol?
How has the experience of taking Dean from alcohol abuse to dependency to addiction, and as an actor, will there be any addressing of his addiction?
Dean's not an alcoholic. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in denial. Yeah, that will subside slightly this year due to his experience in purgatory, where he couldn't find a bar. It's amazing how little liquor stores there are.
And they're always closed on
And
Sundays.
they're always closed. Yeah, purgatory is not a good place for an alky. So I think that was, here's the deal, we only have 42 minutes every week to cram all of the story in. And a lot of times, some things don't get fleshed out because there's just not enough time. I believe that was an issue that was going to kind of get touched on last season, and it never really did, and I think they just kind of ran out of time and had more important stories more important questions to answer. Whether or not it gets addressed in the future, I don't know, but I do know that due to his year off of the bottle, it's probably likely that it won't pick up as heavy as it did. You know, granted, and this is kind of something that Kripke always wanted. He's like, listen, these are guys, these are dudes. You know, they don't drink Diet Sprite. They drink beer.
They don't use umbrellas.
They don't use umbrellas. They don't wear tennis shoes. They wear boots. You know, they wear leather jackets. They drive a muscle car. They listen to rock music. So, you know, I think it was just part of the character. And whether or not it comes back, I don't know. I sure enjoyed it, because sometimes the props department would trick me and put the real stuff in there. Actually, that was Jared. And that made for an interesting take.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I didn't bring any loose pajamas for you. Sorry.
That's quite all right, thank you.
So I was wondering, you've been doing the show for 8 years. How is that, you know, you have both been, you know, growing up, you've become parents throughout the course of the show, you know, and your characters have been
He has become parents. As far as I know. What's it like to have those monumental things happen in your life
Yeah, just, you know,
while still working one job? Probably a lot like everybody else.
probably like while you're, you know, as you feel like you've kind of evolved, like, with your characters, like, how have you grown differently from your characters?
Someone's having a good time. Which is funny. But no, that's a valid question. It's a very valid question. And we have changed a lot. I mean, I'm 30 now, so. No, so it's been 25% of my life.
There goes our teenage audience.
But yeah, you getting married and having a baby and all this sort of life things that happen. It's really, it's kind of neat because you kind of have it logged. Like I can go back and watch the episode and Thomas was like, I go back and watch, and I know what's going on in my personal life, what was happening. And plus, you get to share it with your family of friends and y'all guys. And you have a lot of people around you to show that. I think it's neat. It's hard to speak on our own behalf, but it's neat to have seen it on other people's behalf. Like our crew guys getting married, our crew guys having kids, our crew guys, you know, doing this and that. We see them growing up, just like they see us growing up, and so it's been very neat.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that, you know, if we were not struggling actors, but just actors that were, you know, going from show to show or movie to movie or something like that, then and having that kind of inconsistency in work, which is what being an actor is pretty much all about, then we wouldn't have this amazing support system of people that we spent the past 7.5 years with. You know, we like you said, we watched our crew, you know, these people that we work with intimately for, you know, day in and day out, 12 to 16 hours a day. We've seen them get married, have children, divorced, move into like from their 30s to their 40s, and then 20s and 30s. You know, we've experienced death together. It's been this family. So I think we're fortunate in that regard to have been on the show this long and have experienced these kind of things while having the same job. I mean, it's extremely unique for us. I would imagine not for most people who have a job that they work at continually for, you know. But yeah, it's been nice. And you know, to have like I don't know, you know, he's practically a brother to me. I hate to admit that, but all right. I said it. Leave it at that. It is. It's been very very fortunate. I think we both appreciate it. So, thank you. Bye. Before he cast anybody else, so I felt pretty happy about that. And then just because it was so different, it's. And a lot of people sometimes you forget that we are not actually Sam and Dean. Whoa. What? Take a minute. That we're actors and we can portray different characters, and that's some better than others. It's just but it's fun to kind of to stretch yourself a little bit, try to dive into different characters and see what that feels like. And Priestley was a fun one. I think one of the parts that I enjoyed most about it was just the outfits, the hair, and it was fun to look in the mirror and be like, who the hell is that guy? That's fun for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I did.
I was wondering, throughout the series, some of your characters' fears have had to be faced. So, has there been any real life fears you guys had to face while filming your characters?
Any real life fears?
Yeah.
Not so much. I mean, I'm not really afraid of bees. I don't love them, but.
What about
Are there any bee fanatics out here? I'm sorry.
what about Friday when you were looking over the ledge?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
You know what? Yeah, there was a scene where a man jumps off the roof of the building, and so when he was shooting that, he was tethered. So he has his costume on, but underneath he's got like a vest that's harnessed, so he can't fall. So when he's going up to the edge of this building and it's 12 stories high, and he's looking down the street, he's essentially doing the CN Tower edge walk because he's tethered on, so he won't be able to go. But then Sam and Dean show up, and FBI will play us afterwards, and so Sam has to walk over and look over and kind of analyze, but it was a big wide shot, and I couldn't be tethered. And so you're like, legs don't fail me now. And it's funny how you put all your weight on your back foot. Like if you're gonna look over this, you kind of lean forward and you're planted here. But when you're looking over and you're a couple hundred feet high, whatever it is, you're kind of like. So, and I'm not afraid of heights, I don't think. But that was unnerving for sure. And then, I was fine, I knew I was sure-footed, but at one point in time, our clapper loader, the guy who does the take 3 and had to run up to slate, and I'm standing, here's the edge of the roof, and I turn around, and we're waiting, it was daylight, we had to shoot before the sun goes down, and so he had to hurry to his spot, and so I'm looking that way, and I turn around, and I see this guy running up, and so I'm like, Jesus, what are you doing? Because your body, when it looks at somebody tackling you, your body kind of does this number. When I was on this ledge, it's like, slowly please, walk slowly. And he stopped like 5 feet away from me. But yeah, that's funny, that was just Friday.
That's, I don't know that we've, I don't think that there's any personal fears we've conquered while shooting the show. What's that? I'm pretending that I don't see what's happening. I didn't like those. I'm not fearful of them, I just don't like them.
What's funny is that
What about the dolls?
not afraid at all of clowns.
There were dolls and playthings.
Dolls are weird.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I had a giant boa constrictor crawl across me. That wasn't fun, but I didn't care. Bees, spiders, worms.
Oh, I was terrified
Here we go.
This isn't even a fear. This isn't even a fear. I just remember Chris Angel's a douchebag. When Sam is tied up and there are the swords above him, he had it set up to where and they were all dull, but it was set up, the swords were over me. And there was like
That's right, you did not like that.
I did not like that. Oh, and the snake. I didn't like the snake either.
The snake was on me. I'm on the couch. Here comes the snake. The head's bigger than my fist. Comes over my shoulder. He, on the other end of the couch, jumps up and leaves the room. And I'm like, really, dude? It's on me. And it went, I kid you not, right here, right down, and in between my legs. I didn't move.
Yeah,
He's in his trailer, in the bathroom, shaking. Yeah, so we've been putting
Yes,
some
oh, yeah, we've had fun.
things, but it's,
We take it as it comes, I guess.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Okay, so I love my sister and I'm close to my sister, but there's always one thing that makes me roll my eyes or grit my teeth. So what is that for you two? For each other?
What isn't it?
That's kind of a dangerous question.
That is a dangerous question, and I want to answer it. What do I always tease you about?
I can tell you what makes me laugh or chuckle every time I see him. There's little idiosyncrasies to Jared that make me chuckle, just like I'm sure that I have some that make him chuckle, but I'll do a Jared impression real quick.
Okay, I'm ready.
But in his defense, he can't help it. The guy's got long hair. I'd be doing the same thing.
You guys gotta do a Jensen impression.
Thank you. I can't help it. I have striking features. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
How are you?
I was wondering what similar personality traits you share with your characters.
What personality traits do we share with our characters?
We both have great hair. I can't believe I said that. I'm just kidding. I love to read. Sam's a big reader, researcher. I'm very like that actually. Sam's always on the computer, he always wants to go to the library, he's always researching stuff. I do, when I kind of get a bug about something, I really, really delve into it. I read instructions and stuff like that. I know, that's pretty stupid. I'm sorry, guys. I do. I have this Mophie thing on my phone, and it's great because it charges, are you all familiar with the Mophie? I felt like a Mophie salesman. I was talking about this in my private. I don't think before I talk, like saying that. No, but it charges your phone, but if you have it on and it's not hooked on, then it drains it faster. What are you talking about? The Mophie.
Just about Sam! Are you talking about a phone charger?
Oh, here it is. So, Jared, like Sam, by reading the instruction manual,
Likes to charge his phone.
precisely. This is an unpaid advertisement.
And like Dean, whenever Jared or Sam goes into that mode, I just drink. Oh dear. here.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hi, my question's for Jensen.
Boo! Back of the line.
So a lot of actors kind of turn away from watching their final performances on screen, but when you're in the position of directing yourself, does it make it easier to watch the final performance? And with that, when you watch the entire production, having directed it, is it easier to your baby, or do you kind of...
Good question. It's
Your baby.
It's difficult as a television director because there are a team of editors that basically take all the footage that you shot and put it together the way they think. And because TV is TV and there's such a fast turnaround on getting it shot, getting it edited, and then getting it out for the masses, there's just not a lot of time to nitpick. So you really have to, as a director, you have to shoot it a way that they have to edit that way if you want to protect yourself, if you have a clear idea of what you want. Otherwise, you cover yourself and then you let them kind of pick and choose. And because these guys have been cutting the show for 7 to make me look good. But yeah, I would say that it's probably much like acting as far as watching the final product, in that it's kind of out of my hands at this point. So to be overly critical would be kind of a wasted emotion. And to get upset about it would be, there's just nothing I can do about it. So there has to be a sense of, once I do it and turn it in, that's it. I'm washing my hands. And I think that, I think I've taken that approach to this industry in a lot of different areas. I think you do the same way, like auditioning for a role, back before Supernatural, when I actually had to audition for other roles, was available to audition for other roles. I would go in and treat that as my final performance. Go in, do it, walk out, throw the sides in the garbage, and okay, what's next? If they call me back and say, hey, guess what, you got the job. They're like, sweet! If they never called, I'd already forgot about it. So
that's necessary. You have to learn how to do that, otherwise you'll be...
Well, you just be sitting there pining, watching the phone, hoping that it rings, and I think I did that once and told myself that I can't do that. So, parlaying that into the acting and the directing, I think that once I turn my product, once I turn my performance or my final shots in, I kind of have to let it go.
Were you always thick-skinned, or did you get thicker skin?
I had to adapt. Yeah. No, I'm as fragile as a flower. But when it comes to the industry, nails.
Iron.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. Have you ever seen this thing on YouTube? It's called Supernatural: The Animation of Bridge.
Have we something about Supernatural animation?
Yeah, have you seen it? Either you like seen or heard of it? It's called Supernatural: The Animation of Bridge.
The animation of Bridge?
A bridge, yeah.
I have not seen it. I haven't seen any of the animation.
Okay. Well, you should check it out. It's really funny.
Should I actually check it out, or is that?
No. Actually, do it.
Is that like a ha-ha wink-wink, like you're gonna be upset?
You really should. It's like they take episode.
Like Dean drives a Volkswagen Bug, is that?
They take the animation episodes and they kind of tell the episode. They like spice up the scenes and stuff, and like they add their own dialogue. Like the guy who does Dean like does a really good like Dean voice, and they add like.
I'll be the judge of that.
It's really good, but if you haven't.
All right. If I watch it and I get upset,
You can
find
play
you.
back.
I'm gonna find you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I was gonna ask, if you had to choose a character to play on Supernatural besides Sam and Dean, who would you choose and why?
What are you gonna ask instead? You said you were gonna ask. So if you're not asking that, then what are you asking?
Sorry, I'm nervous.
I'm just teasing. I would play Ruby, because she gets to hook up with Sam. If you were going to ask that, but you're not going to ask that, so I don't know
That explains so much.
I'll play Ruby too.
Oh, girl. And you?
Probably Ruby, because he... You know, and maybe this is just because I really enjoyed working with him and watching his performance, and was just a pleasure to be on the screen with him. But it was Alistair, I thought. Yeah, and you know, I just always thought that was he did so much with that character, and I was like, he made that character so
Good.
awesome.
What's it for?
Yeah, and I don't know, I was
That scene with you
like,
guys?
yeah, the scene where I'm torturing, or Dean's torturing Alistair.
Yeah.
He's got them all chained up. Was one of the most memorable scenes I've had with an actor in my career, I think. It's just really great. And so anyway, that was one.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Alistair.
so much.
Yeah.
Hi.
Clearly you guys have a huge female fan base.
No, actually, surprisingly, it's mainly men. It's just football Sunday.
I'm just wondering, what have you witnessed was the craziest thing a female fan has done to get your attention?
To get our attention?
You missed that. What? Doesn't work. It's the first response I had. Why don't you take this one?
I'd rather not. Oh, what is it? That's a good question. I don't think I've ever had that question to get our attention.
I'll tell you what, we're men. And there's not a lot that women have to do to get our attention. Just kind of show up. We'll notice you.
Craziest thing a man has done.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
On that note, I think that was the last question. Thank you for embarrassing
Is
us.
that it?
It is.
Wow. Way to end on a high note. A low note. Low note.
Thanks, guys. We're now going to sign stuff. So we have a chance to. Oh, what? We're not signing? Not yet. Oh, we're not signing stuff?
Photos.
We're now going to take photos. Please photos.
Photos for everyone! Okay. Yes, we have to go take pictures with some other idiot.
But we will get another chance to address all you guys. So we love you all.
Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Have a